What's up, everybody? Yo, what's up, Lo? What's up,
What up?
Mac?
What up? What up? What up? What up, good people?
I'm
Yo,
about to
how
say,
y'all
man,
doing?
Chuck done got some hair.
That's all right. Look, that boy done grew some hair. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good. How y'all feeling?
I listen.
I need a
I
drink.
listen. Wait, add a bottle. Think? No, it's the one on the counter. Look by the air fryer. I'm sorry, I'm talking to my daughter. Get my wine, the perfect wine glass for my wine. Oh, that boy drinking Johnny Walker. Oh, that boy drinking water. Oh, that girl drinking water. Oh, look at that miracle water into my hand.
Oh, yeah, they both. All right.
Yeah, all right,
Listen,
y'all done started turning
listen,
water into
listen.
wine.
You see how she doing, Mac?
Well,
How y'all
eventually,
feeling?
where did the whiskey come from? I just want to know.
Listen, the whiskey came from. Wait, where does whiskey come
Hey, I know where it came
from?
from. I'm just saying when you said water into wine, I said when did it turn into whiskey?
Yeah.
I just want to
I
know.
mean,
After he started dealing with them people, said I need a little
but
something
where does
stronger.
it come from? Though? Like that on the Farilla. Thank you for everybody to tuning in to Nightcap Knowledge. Welcome. We apologize for technical difficulties of being late, but we are here. And tonight
Us is
we're
here.
talking about all things social media outlets. Shout out to our people, Aloysius Low Ballard in the house.
Who?
Things according to
Don't do
Low.
that, Mac. Don't
Right?
do that. Don't
I
do
said,
that.
Who is that?
don't do low there. You know, low good people. My toots right here. Toots, lean your head in. There go my tootsie wooch, y'all.
Hey,
You know,
hey,
uncles on.
little TBC.
The TBC. The TBC.
See how the Lord work. See how he work.
What?
Somebody come look at this.
Somebody come and look at this. Someone will bitch in this motherfucker. I mean,
What?
listen. Shout out, Matt. Go ahead and tell everybody why we here. Why we are
This show
here.
is rated black and uncensored, real talk, real issues, and real solutions. Go here to tell it like it T.I. is. That's what we're gonna do, right? And we're gonna drink that too. Add that. Put it in the mix.
Listen, you need a nightcap. So while you're already talking about the show, go ahead and do your. Oh,
Mental
wait,
health minute.
this one. Your mental health minute
What you
while we're
what you
at
picking? What you picking?
what I'm drinking. Malbec. I
Ah.
need
Ah.
you toots.
All
Go
right. So the
ahead.
mental health minute is something that everybody knows about. That's on this podcast on this platform. Perseverance. Never give up. There are a lot of times there are situations that you feel like giving it up, and you got to continue to work hard, continue to drive, continue to keep your feet moving. And there sometimes I use a phrase that say, bad times don't last always, but good people do, right? And I kind of twisted that from a great wrestler named Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon. His that motto is like, life trials and tribulations. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your ability. Don't give up. Period. Continue to persevere. Continue to work hard. Knowing that you are here for a purpose gives you the drive you need to overcome your obstacles and run through the walls or barriers that are trying to hold you back. So continue to fight. Don't give up. That's it. TBC, what you got?
Ew. I love that. I love that. Continue to fight. Don't give up. Which leads me into the entertainment check-in. Listen, shout out to all of the greats that have come before us. As an independent artist in this industry, I know how hard it is to be able to hold your ground. And I want to give a shout out tonight to Martha Reeves, who is one of the founder and the originator of Martha Reeves and the Vandals, or Van, yeah, Vandellas. She was known for her song, for many songs, but I feel Dancing in the Street was one that we all know today. Calling out around the world. We all know that. And she was she is a well-known artist, musician, now in her 80s, and she is continuing to pursue her love and legacy in the career of music, but doing what she loves. So shout out to her. That's why I say it goes along with your message of perseverance and continuing to move forward in this industry. But she never gave up. Her team is really pushing for her to be seen and heard. And with that being said, I love it because as an indie artist, it's hard to be respected for what we do. And so I ask that you guys, when you see her music, when you hear her music, support it, celebrate it, because a lot of the artists today that are out here wouldn't be who they are if it wasn't for her. Destiny's Child, TLC, SWV, Escape, they all listened to Martha Reeves and the Vandals. The Supremes, they all came up in the same era. So shout out to Martha Reeves and her management team. I had a chance to have a conversation with him last week, and I'm so humble and honored for what she's doing and what she believes in. So thank you so much, Elder Martha Reeves, and I look forward to working with you soon.
Hey, hey,
So,
that was some real musicians back then too, man.
man, listen. Normally we'll have like what's the groove with Chuck, but Low, check in, Low. What's been going on with Low and I mean, what's the groove, Low?
I mean, the groove for me, man, is just editing, and you know, with much success comes much requirement. And I realized something I was thinking earlier today. I was like, we pray for more. You better be organized and better have some type of plan for, for when you get what you ask for. Because it's easy to always say you want to do this, do that, and the other, but then sometimes we don't take up the cost of, like, what is it what does it cost me to be successful, like, a lot of times, people think about, hey, I want to do it, I want to drive a car like, so and so, or you hear people say that, but then, like, I used to say I wanted a G-Wagon, and then I started finding out what it costs to just drive a G-Wagon, insurance, maintenance. Like, and then it stopped looking so pretty. I was like, you know what, I'm all right with this F-150. I'm gonna drive this one, it's still good. I'm Gucci. I can go to the local parts store and get a replacement. Like, ain't nobody got a special order, nothing. And hey, perspective, you better know what you asking for when you praying. So some of these people that be stunting on the internet be crying at home. So y'all better be careful. We better be content where you at, man. That's the groove, and my little tidbit on that. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Shout out to Cleopatra Jones in the comment section. Shout out to my sorors, the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. You know who you are. Yes. So let us know who you are, where you're from in the comment section. Tiwumola. I hope I said it right. I hope I said it right. Tiwumola. In the comment section. LaShonda, shout out to my management team, LaShonda Flake, with you, holding it down. So yeah, I mean, listen, I feel that people often have what I call big eyes. Sometimes your eyes are bigger than your stomach, and you get into these positions. I had a Land Rover. Listen, I had that Land Rover for all of 3 months. That sucker gave me so many issues, and thank God for warranty. Oh, baby. I was in a
Yeah.
rental for 6 months. What's up, T? How are you, my love? But yeah, so I was in a rental for 6 months, so I get where you're coming from when it comes to having the luxury and being able to maintain it. So that's what we're going to get into tonight, talking about social media and the luxury of social media outlets. Understanding social media, because we have some people in our comment section. Hey, Curly, I know you was Curly. I already know. Curly, shout out to my best friend since 1991. Man, we go way back. Yeah, 30 years and so. And also my soror. That's Curly in the comment section. Your frat Mac is just looking at your Curly, and your brother frat Low is just smiling. He just cheesing like he cheesing. Ew. But let's talk about social media. When we're talking about social media outlet, all things social,
Yeah.
what is social media to you all? What does it mean to you all, especially when it comes to entrepreneurs? I know entrepreneurs and artists in the industry lean on social media a lot. What is social media to you all?
Well, I know for me, man, I'm able to manage social for a lot of different people, and I've learned over the years that social media plays a different role for the person within, right? I've realized some people use social media as a means to uh, fill a void, to feel less alone. They put a lot more stock in it than most. When you saw a lot of couples become strained because your identity should be my identity, or you know you know they like your stuff but didn't like mine. They are, how they gonna befriend you and didn't befriend me? And we, like, the culturally acceptance of what social media became was very different in a lot of different scenarios. Like for me, I see it as a means to promote things that I don't mind people sharing or knowing about. You'll never hear me fighting or having too much to say about my opinions on certain things, because number one, I realize that the internet makes everybody have a voice. And there's this proverb that says, if you argue with a fool, no one can tell the difference from afar. So I choose to not engage in that stuff. And it's very clickbaitish. People say stuff knowing they gonna get you riled up, right? Like I saw something recently where somebody was like, how dare my bank be closed for Juneteenth? And you know what that will do on the internet. I was like, I had a whole little paragraph. I was like, you know what? Why? This just, like, go about your day. It don't matter. The bank closed. We celebrate Juneteenth on Monday. Like, it don't even matter, But we live in a world where a lot of people feel like social media is life. If it happens on social media, it's facts. If it's on social media, and you see people weaponizing it now, where you know people are getting revenge. They can do a lot of different things with the tools, but in all, I think when it's used properly, like, it's a beautiful thing, because I know early on I've been able to go do some work in places I never would have been able to work had it not been for social media. So I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. It just depends on how you gauge it.
Yeah. Curly says social media is the reason I have 12 vaccines. Everyone's making money via social media platforms. It's hard to find staff that is interested in traditional work environments. It's inspiring, and I'm all for entrepreneurship, but doing it makes my job a little more challenging. Um, yeah, Mac, you want to talk to that, because Mac, you just recently opened your own, your partners, your business. So talk to that, especially because you're also still in the workforce as well as being an entrepreneur. What's up, Marcus?
So I think the social media, first the first head is always community organizing and advocacy, and I think a lot of times our stories, I think about controlling the narrative, did not appear until we had um, until we had our own voice, and we had our voice via social media. Also, it's a good way to for small business. Social media is like the paper flyers from back in the day. For the average person that didn't have a lot of money, you could just go create something and run some copy off. You had a friend that worked at an office. Social media allows you to do that without a lot of funds to be able to get the word out to so many people and to be able to network with those folks because folks your friend try something and then they post and then someone comments that person, well, I want to go try it too, right? Because part of what you said, the reality becomes when it hits social media, it's real. Uh, but here's how that works on the flip side. When you're working with organizations and agencies, even with grant writing, part of what they look for when you put proposals together is your digital footprint. You said you did this in here. Well, they go look and they ask you for your social media pages and names for your organization or agencies, and they just say, well, they did this on such and such day, and then they looking to see, did you actually do that, or what did that look like? So it has become something more than just something for you to do. It's creating necessities. We started Mental Health Minute during COVID because so many people was just struggling with so much socially because the social way of life was helping them deal with the traumas and other stressors they had. And when that was compromised, they didn't know how to deal. The term that the military were actually was Marines that use the adapt and overcome is a real thing. A lot of folks don't have the ability or know they have the ability to adapt and overcome. And social media was able to tell folks, hey, it's okay if you need something, and you say positive words. Next thing you know, somebody say, I really needed that. I really needed this. I really needed that. So it allows you to continue that and continue that work. So I think we use what we need. For the small business person, grassroots organizing is definitely a strength in helping to get the word out. But I don't want folks to stop doing the other methods of communicating. A lot of times, folks get on the one trick pony. Whatever's a new hottest fad, so whether it be TikTok or whatever the case may be, when you start doing TikTok, you stop doing Instagram, or you stop doing Facebook, or you stop doing emails, or you stop doing whatever other things you were doing. Just keep that going because the people that are not on Instagram and TikTok still want to be involved. Um, so yeah, just don't keep jumping. Just continue. If you're going to do anything, add, but continue to use your other methods. Like we continue to use radio, we use word of mouth, we use signage, but we're going to add these other things to it. But we're not going to stop doing the other things we know that were working before. So.
Well, let me ask you this, Mac, because I think that's a good point, right? So
Mhm.
how are you differentiating your approach to each audience? Because if I'm using social, that's one way, but an email blast or radio, like, are you using the same verbiage and like in messaging, or are you changing it up? Because a lot of people feel like social is king because I can post it one place and then just post it everywhere and it's done. But
What's so? Oh
go ahead.
no, I said
Really,
social also got smart because if you don't buy ads, folks don't see your shit. They figure out a way to make money off of you. And if the way you were doing, people are like, I didn't know this happened. I didn't see it. But the audience for me is the message. You change it like what I might say here um, on Nightcap Knowledge. I wouldn't say on Reviving Mississippi on 9.1. I would say the same thing. I might check out some of the cuss words because you know, if I was doing a TV interview, it would be different from 90.1.
Yeah.
I would have the same message with a different delivery, you know, because you're going to be who you are now. You got to tell it like a TIE is. So, but you would just change the delivery based on the audience and the platform that you're on. And some of it you have no other choice. You got to deal with the FCC, so you got to do things a little bit different. But it's getting the message out. I just had this conversation with someone about Tuglu. We were just talking about Tuglu has to be the best Tuglu it can be. It has to be that social justice advocate agency, institution, healthcare, medical. Continue to be what built your historical legacy without conforming, and you will find the people that still find that like, hey, that's what I want to do. They will come to you, and versus just trying to get a lot of the masses, you will get the folks that's like, this is the place for me to be, right? And internally for Tougaloo, it don't have the budget to have you to be there to say, I'm gonna go work for Tougaloo because I'm gonna make a lot of money. It has to be that family oriented environment to make you want to stay there. So it has to have the right pieces of the puzzle that might not work at Jackson State or Alcorn, but it will work for Tougaloo. And you got to have that right messaging, and that's the same thing we talk about when you talk about using different platforms.
Yeah.
I want to jump in on that because I feel like when we're doing different platforms, like Mac just said, we have to change the verbiage. I feel like sometimes verbiage is not even needed because they see what you're doing, they see your works, and people often follow because they say, "Oh, I see that you're this," or "I saw your post and I'm here for this." The authenticity of who you are behind the social media and what you are in person speaks volume. Tonight, my manager and I, well, today we were meeting, and someone approached me and they were like, I just gave, the sister a compliment because I saw how poised and classy she was and beautiful she was. And she goes, "Hey, you're Tanya Boy Ken." And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I know you. I want to work with you." Just immediately. And I'm like, wow, I've never posted. I do vocal lessons. I want to say I did. No, I take that back. One time I posted. That one time led to people still asking for vocal lessons. Now, I don't promote it, but I also administer vocal lessons, but it's when Call Duty of Calls or Call of Duty is present. So I feel like your social media speaks volume for who you are. People watch that. If you say this is who you are on the screen, they're expecting that in person. So you have to be careful of being one person behind the social media and someone else in real time. So I can say, to Mac Low, I can also say to you, every time people see us, we joke, we go at it, we have a good time. We can go back and forth and saying, "Oh, Z5, Blue 5," and then Omega's we could do that all day long, and people were like, "Well, I feel they disrespected." We never disrespect. We have a good time, and it's understood amongst us. But you don't see that on social media. You know what I'm saying? But you see respect at the same time, and that's what you get. So I feel like you said, what you see is what you get. So if you follow on one platform, no, people not gonna hear some words that I say. I'm my grandmother's granddaughter, so my grandmother used to say a couple of words. So you have to be in my presence to hear those words. But at the same time, I mean business when you see me and when you see it on social media. So, you don't get anything fake. We have no time to be fake because lives and souls and mentals are needed to be saved. So that's who we are.
So
Well, I get okay. Go ahead, go ahead, Lo, because
no, go ahead, go ahead, man.
I'm from the spin it.
Yeah, go ahead, Mac.
So what has also happened, and I'll never forget this, the cat we used to call Bamboo. Uh, he was pianist, right? So we were doing a couple of events, and we talked about how now socially we do not have good social skills in social environment because we do not interact with each other like we used to, right? And we do not go. So you have some artists now that do not allow phones when they perform for two reasons. One, not to record the show. I remember Cheryl used to be big about that, right? Because by the time you get to their city, they were like, "Oh, I've heard this joke before." Be like, "How?" Because someone three cities over had recorded it and you saw it on Facebook. The other thing is, we used to say all the time. That's why we intentionally do social networking mixers because you have a doctor who just opened a clinic, and you have a young lady who just graduated from nursing school, and he need a nurse, she need a job. They never meet, but they are in an environment that's designed. So also we've seen a diminishing in social skills, not knowing how to interact and talk to each other, and then folks actually talk in real time, in real person, how they type on the screen. Um, that we've seen an increase in that. That I never forget an article I read years ago called iPod Kids. How people would put the iPod, put the things in their ear and be on the subway or somewhere and listen to something intentionally so they won't have to talk to people. You know, so we have lost. So what did you see? And now this is just me, right? 2015, one of my classes I was taking when I was working on my master's of social work talked about the decrease in collectivism and the increase in individualism. We start doing things as a unit, as a group. What happens? Our social skills starts to diminish. What happens also when our social skills diminish? You have more disputes that continue to grow. No
Mm.
one knows how to figure out nothing and get along with other folks when they have a different of opinions, because everybody has been so used to just putting this out there. Now you in real life, and you saying it and not understanding the different repercussions that come behind it, because we have lost a lot of our social skills. That's just me. Now,
Sound
So
like conflict resolution.
so let
Go
me ask this then real quick,
mhm.
because Mac, what you speak to is a difference in generations, right? So is it really social media to blame, or that we within our homes and our communities that
Mhm.
no longer hold each other accountable? Because growing up, I'm sure y'all did the same thing. When you came into a room, my grandmother, my grandparents, my mom and dad, you had to speak to people. You don't walk through this room like you don't see people. Excuse me, come back. Speak to people. How are you doing today? If you ain't have the right tone, if your verbiage wasn't right, it was gonna take another it was gonna go another way. And
Ooh,
you got your
hey,
attitude right.
hey, look, look. I know Tanya and I was like, we could feel
ahead.
that
Somebody come and look
that
at somebody.
tone.
Somebody come and listen really quick. Because we have comments in the in our comment section.
I
Carolyn,
can't see that. I can't see him.
cards are passing, but promo cards are no longer effective. I get resumes typed like that, which is so important. Thick Pen, ew, what's up, boo? He says it's a combination of both.
It
Um,
is. That's all about the rebuttal for that part. Yeah, it's a
I was
combination.
I was teaching a vocal class today, and one of my interns, who came under me, she asked the students who are in the class now. She said, "How do you all hold the phone?" And one of the students did this, another student did this, one did this. It's it's the times that we are living in now. We have to educate this new generation on what's happening. They are not they're not disrespectful in the way that they approach or respond. They just don't know. And I told them today, I said, I asked one of my band members, who's the youngest, of the team, I said, make a phone call on the phone. Remember, Loki talk about the rotary call. I was asking him later, I said, how do you make a call on the rotary phone? And he was like, what? What's a rotary phone? We know what that is. Their generation, they don't mean any harm when they walk into a room and don't speak. Because I teach my kids today in the classroom. When I walk in the building, you can hear my students say, Grand Rising, Miss Cannon, Grand Rising, Miss Cannon, Grand Rising, because I taught them. They didn't know, and they mean no harm, but they're not being taught. Because what's happening with this generation is they have so much freedom and autonomy to be who they are, that when they're in traditional um communities, they feel as though if you tell them you speak when you walk in the room, that's disrespectful. Or you say she, and I respond to, I'm non-binary, which I knock none of that. But we don't know, because our generation didn't come up with the different genders. We only knew two. So it's an educational moment for both of us,
Yeah.
teaching and learning. So I feel like these our generations now, they're teaching us while we're also teaching them. And everyone has to be open to understanding that there's one word, or that could be a sigh, a deep breath that offends someone, and you don't mean it, but at the same time you got to release it somewhere, whereas they may say something and offend us and they don't know it. So I don't think
Tanya,
it's them to blame. I just think it's different generations.
I think it's a double-edged sword. I think it's their fault and it's our fault for not whooping their ass to help them understand structure and discipline, because we are the way we are because someone put structure and discipline in us. Let's go back. Think about rock and roll. When rock and roll came out, it was the devil's music, right? That was the influence to that generation, right? So you spring forward through 70s and funk, right? That's the devil's music, right? That had influence over that age group. 80s, you still had rock, but then you started assimilating to rap. That was the influence for that age group and generation. What happens is this this age group had more influences than we did. So now they got influences from everywhere. They got everything, and we assimilate to the process because, oh well, low daughter got a phone. I'm gonna get my daughter a phone, right?
Mm,
But your daughter don't need a phone. But we assimilate to that process, and the same structures and barriers that Low has at his house, I don't have in my house. You're copying what other folks are doing,
mm,
right? It's just like people say, I can't believe they showed this on TV. Cut the son bitch off. It's real easy. But as a society, again, Dr. Amos Wilson, the rational mind for the Negro is considered
yeah,
to be radical. So when you start doing rational things, I can't believe that. We have two TVs in my house. Two. We have one in the living room and one in my uncle's room because we are caregivers for him. That's it. We don't have other TVs. Can we
right.
afford another TV? Yeah, but we don't need it. Hell, we barely can watch the one. By the time we finish today and sit our ass down, it took us 3 months to watch one season of Power. We,
Yeah.
there's no time because we are moving in real life and doing different things. But it goes back to the structure. We
Yeah,
are that generation, our age group, that 40 plus to 50. We wanted certain things. We like, man, if I couldn't have it because my parents, grandparents would let me have it. So when you had a child, you started to give your child even opportunities and other things that you didn't have, but your child didn't go through the stuff that you went through to appreciate it. Why
So
do I say this? I have this conversation all the time about the college students at Tougaloo that I work with the other advisors from Kappa to Omega to even with professors. We have created a different generation. We did because none of them have the money to buy any of this stuff, and we set the time frame. We cut the Wi-Fi off. We have the capacity to do all those things, but we don't. We have an expectation, and when they don't, and like I said, they don't know. Oh, they know because you tell them. You constantly tell them. You constantly tell them that that is controlling your facial expressions and how you say. Well, you constantly telling them, but it's not registering because it's not their norm for their age group. It's not their norm for that. And then you get a child that same age from a different culture, and that's all they know.
yeah,
so I
It's totally different.
I want to say this too because I think it's a culmination of things. When you look at how generations change, number one, I know my parents and my grandparents and those before them, our community had something that affected all age groups. That struggle, right? The civil rights era. It it was glue for the community. At best, they all knew that struggle. Fast forward to like the generation of where we were growing up, you still had grandparents, but the struggle of civil rights wasn't really there. And I know for my grandparents, their only mission was that their kids get an education and better themselves for future generations. Now, for us, we starting to see where we had everything afforded to us. Look at the documentaries that come about from our age group alone. You had Freaknik, you had the internet. We had all these things that were fast forwarding. We remember when internet was dial up. You had to get off somebody to get off the phone. Hey, get off the internet so I can make a phone call. But now we're FaceTiming, we're using tech. So look at the speed of development. And I read this book that really helps me. It's called Artificial Maturity. And it's talking about how so many people now think they're older, but they haven't matured. I remember even in my own sister, my sister became a mom at a young age. Her development years were given to taking care of her kids. So now when you get to a point where you're still young in your 40s and your kids are now grown and out the house, think about how much you missed, how much you didn't get to live and develop. And now your kids are grown, but you're still young enough to be in a place like the dynamics of what we grew up with. Like I could have never partied with my mom or my dad. It just the gap was just far too great. Now you seeing grandmamas at 36, at 25,
All right,
at
Bernie Mac. All right, Bernie Mac.
like, but seriously, think about how our culture now. Everybody want to still have their attention with the internet. Everybody still want to have, their time and their shine and they swag. And nobody's really playing these roles in our communities anymore. Tanya, you talk about the elders.
Yeah.
Where are the elders? Where are the women or the men who say, hey, I've been there, done that. Let me mold these kids and my family into something other than just people who seek out quick attention and just that kind of notion. And I think that's why social media gets a bad rap because they raising the kids. Social media is raising your children.
Well,
Well, social media replaced cable for our generation, right?
yeah.
Cable, you set them down in front of TV and you watch shit, and that thing, you're repeating what you see. But it
Well,
goes back to that, about us. What are we going to do? Because all these things, yeah, they are a necessity. But again, we got to start using old folks' terms. It's your house. You run your house, right? You don't let nobody influence or, take over your house. You do what's best for your house. And we did an event years ago about childhood obesity. We did the Stomp Out Childhood Obesity where we used the Sigma Betas to do a step show to raise awareness for childhood obesity. So we had a frat brother that spoke from the doctor's perspective, and then we spoke from the community's perspective. We're like, if your child doesn't have an actual some type of eating disorder, medical disorder, how do you have this increase? Because we didn't have childhood obesity. There were children that might have been larger, but them children played just as hard, or not harder, than everybody else.
Outside.
But and we said that shouldn't be. We said it's your house, your refrigerator, you close it, and everybody got looking at us like we cussed them out. It's your house. Don't go in there. Listen, so me and Jay was talking earlier about putting something else. She put something in the other freezer. I said, put it in the refrigerator, and say, I dare you put your lips on it. That's what you say. Put your lips on. You put your lips on it. I take your lips off. That's what some shit that our parents would have told us. You
yeah.
put your lips on it.
No more.
You put. I'm gonna take your lips off.
You can't say that no more, man. Somebody
Fuck
was
that. Yes, you
saying
can.
that.
So,
You
You
so
can't.
going to
That's
jail.
here,
that's
here,
the problem. We have
here,
become so hypersensitive
every,
that we can't do what we need to do to take care of our house because we
I
worry
feel
about somebody else.
I feel like yes, there's a level of hypersensitivity playing in this lifetime, right? However, I also feel like there's a space to teach from a perspective of love for our kids to understand that, oh, I ain't gonna play with them. Like my students know not to touch my stuff. They know how to put their hands on it. Because they know like Miss Cannon don't play. Like if I was you, I wouldn't do it. I witnessed students saying, don't put your hands on Miss Cannon stuff. She don't do it. I dare you. Don't do it. It I never teach from a place of I'm gonna do that to you. But I do teach from a place from I work hard for mine. If you put your hands on mine, we're gonna have an issue. They understand we're gonna have an issue and what that issue is if you touch my stuff. So then we break down what is an issue. We are living in a world of sensitivity no matter what you post. You have to understand what you post, how you post it, what punctuation marks you're using when you post it. I mean, I look at what between Thick Pen and what Curly posted about certain things about the kitchen. AOL still having her AOL. What Thick Pen is saying about how we've learned and our parents taught us understanding money management, these different things. To this day, I have artists who started with me in a single digit that are now adults that can say, "Oh wow, yeah, Miss Tanya taught me this. Don't do that because Miss Tanya gonna call you out." I've never sugarcoated because number one, the industry, the entertainment industry, doesn't sugarcoat. They don't care how you feel. Number two, in the education, our kids need to understand that you have to have the book smart and life smarts. These streets don't care about you. It's a concrete jungle, no matter where you live. And so when I tell a student that come to school and they're screaming, the first time they walk through the door, I say, "Baby, what you ate last night?" And they say, "I ain't eat. Let's go. We're gonna get some food." And if my principal say, "Miss Cannon, I need you here," nope, not right now. I gotta go deal with this baby. And he'll say, "Miss Cannon, I got you. I'm gonna cover for you," because they understand the need of that child. I don't post what I do for the community on social media because I don't need social media to validate what I do. I don't post when I donate to people because I don't need the social media to validate what I donate. I feel that social media has been used as a platform in the good and for the bad. People want to be seen doing good. The Bible talks about not letting your left hand know what your right hand do. You don't have to let people know your blessings gonna come regardless if you're doing it from the heart. I'm not knocking anybody who does post. That ain't my business. But for Tanya, you will never know who I donate to. But I guarantee you, those who I donated to gonna understand and respect who I am because I love everyone. I celebrate everyone. And I feel that when we get away from trying to be seen for what we do, because I mean, my parents grew up, I grew up as a preacher's kid. Children should be seen and not heard, right? So my philosophy now is children should be seen and heard. So when you hear my students and you see them on screens in your movie theaters, when you hear them and see them on your social media platforms and see them on the BET Awards and the Tony Awards, and you see all of these people I've worked with, you'll never know I work with them because I don't post that. It's not about that. My celebration is seeing them soar for who they are. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like when we start to step back and look at how important it is for social media to use this free platform to celebrate what we do freely, we don't have to have ads. I used to do ads, I no longer do ads. And thank God I don't do ads and I have sold out shows because my heart is in what I do. My passion is in what I do. And that's for everyone who entrepreneur, musician, whatever fine and visual arts that you do, put your passion in it. If you put your passion and your love in it, you'll never work a day in your life. And I
I,
started working since 2015.
yeah.
I don't work. Ew. I see they being ew. Ew, 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 ew. No, I don't work. I passion. And it's a
Let-
difference.
I'll say this. One of the things, and I know we about to wrap, but like one of the things that stood out to me in school when I was studying marketing was that like social media is the salt of your life, right? So it can flavor what you are and what you do. It's like in the kitchen. So if you're cooking, if your meal is trash, it don't matter how much salt and flavor you try to put on it, it's still gonna be trash. Work on creating a meal that salt can add a little openness and flavor to you. It shouldn't be the saving grace for what you're doing in your life. Some of y'all, take time to read a book, take time to, you know, enhance your own self. Get to know you before you try to show us who you are by adding it to social media. That's my that's my 2 cents.
Listen, wait. Somebody come and God damn it. I need to drink on my
That boy said, if your meal is trash,
if
there's
you
not enough salt that can save it.
that been gonna still be
Yeah,
trash.
man.
Yeah, that's some garbage. That is garbage.
Boy.
Hey, hey,
We gotta drink on that. Listen.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. I think I ain't got no more drink.
Oh no. Listen.
Ah,
Listen. We recently here in the city of New Orleans, in the state of New Orleans, the country, the island of New Orleans. We recently, and for those who are tuning in, if you know me, those of you who have either just met me, or those of you who've been knowing me, the ones that have been knowing me know how I've been on this journey of healing for the past almost 10 years. And those who just met me, you saw a side of me that's all you're gonna get. Outside of me asking questions like, "Are you okay? What's going?" Lo will tell you. Lo, Mac, and Chuck will tell you. I'll text and say, "I'm having a moment," and the responses I'll get, "What do you need? I'm on my way. Whatever you need." Like I will tell you when I'm having a moment. I text Lo. I called Lo like 2 days ago. He didn't respond. I text him. He didn't respond. And when I no, I texted him, he did respond. He said, I never, he called me, he said, I never got a call from you. He knows I'm gonna be on my way to Ocean Spring, like, what's going on? Like, that's how we work. Mac, no, I'm coming to Jackson. What's going on? That's how we work, right? And so this week we had a brother who, based on social media, it'll say that this brother kidnapped himself. He reported himself missing, and then he came back alive. So I watched the video of this brother who went missing when they interviewed him. And the first thing I saw him on his face was, I needed time. Out of his mouth, he said, I needed time for me. That is a cry for help. That's the first thing I heard. I need help. So social media, somebody posted, Twitter is going in on this brother, Instagram is going in on this brother. All I heard was, I need help. And everyone circulated his flyers saying he's missing. Please help, say a prayer. I'm praying for the family of an individual that was found yesterday in the vehicle. We pray for the family of the body that was found yesterday that was pronounced as him, and it wasn't him. This brother is alive. I say that to say tonight, social media can dictate life or death. But the question is, what is the truth? The truth is, mental health is real. Mental psychosis are real. Mental illness is real. And this brother, all he said was, I needed time for myself. What I got from him was, leave me alone. I need a break. And so I just want to share that because next week we're going to be talking to professionals about mental health, which is mental wealth. And between Lo, Chuck, Mac, and myself, we're always advocating for mental health, mental wealth for who you are. Take time for yourself. Social media can dictate your life and your death. Don't allow it to. Speak up. We're here for you. We want to be there for you. If you need us, y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all have my personal number and y'all have my business number. Those of you who know me, I have two, yes, I have two lines. Call me if you need me. I'm here. I do take time for myself. My manager can tell you, my best friend since over 30 years, my brothers for over 20 years, 10 years and so forth. Y'all know when I need time for me, I will take it, but I will let you know. So please take time for yourself, but let someone be your safety net. We're a safe space. Nightcap Knowledge has always been that. Over 100 episodes and so forth. We've always been that. We're going to continue to be that. If you need us, let us know. Between Mac as our mental health professional, He's here for you between Low, who is here for you, myself, Chuck. We are here for you. If you need anything, now don't ask me to deposit no money, but I'll deposit energies. And if I'm depositing, make sure you
Oh,
just as much as I'm depositing, my deposit bank is open too. So
tell
yeah,
you.
we're here for you. Know that we love you. Shout out to my brother who's safe and my brother who went missing. You're safe now. Just know that we're here for you no matter what. To my team, I love you. To my family, I love you and I'm here for you. So yeah.
And I was listening to you telling you, and I had a thought. We talk about social media and folks doing crazy stuff. And so, what if you see somebody talking to themselves? No, 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 not like that. Like they have two different pages, and they're talking to themselves.
You don't want to be in my house.
They post one thing, and then they commented from the
I'm
other
not
page.
gonna do this.
I
I'm
got
not
you.
gonna do this with you, Mac.
And that one went through my head when you started. I like, she's serious. I need to be quiet because I'm thinking about this person who would say, "It sure is hot outside," and then they would, they would come back and post from the other page. Yeah, it is. What did you wear today? It's like, I'm like, it's too much.
But you know what's amazing, Matt? Because
Low, low.
I can't, bro.
listen, we laugh at that, but the reality of
It's
it
happening right now.
is happening right.
We know the individual that did it and tried. That's why it's funny.
Listen,
I
look,
said I'm not finna do this with Mac right now. Not finna do this.
listen.
I had
We
to bring us back up.
you know, it's I used to get the question like people say like two people did a clone page of Tiny Boy Cannon, and I'm like, dog, damn, I know it's me, but that ain't me. And I post some, and the other me went to comment on. I was like, fuck, that ain't me. But the thing is, we're living again. We go back to social media. We're living in a society where people are living out their fantasies through people on social media, and so they'll start two pages and be themselves while being their alter ego. And the question I go back to ask, baby, who are you really? Because apparently it's a struggle, and so you deal with people, between you. We talked to Fred, we talked to Dr. Brian last week or last month. We've talked to so many professionals that you understand these different psychoses that our people go through. And listen, mental health, my family is mental wealth. Find a therapist. Trust me, if you have insurance, it is through your insurance. Get it. You will never know how much you release when you sit and talk to someone.
Listen,
So go ahead.
sometimes you don't. You just need a way to unwind. And what better way to do that than Hemp World, where you can get something
Give my more shit.
to, to help you relax after a very long, stressful day.
Those
Listen,
slushies go hard.
Hard.
hemp world.
And listen,
I love hemp world, and I love the blended hemp world. Listen,
hey, y'all
somebody,
gotta come. Y'all
some,
gotta come. Y'all gotta come check it out. Y'all gotta come check it out because, in the truth of the matter, when we thought about this, we were like, we want to create a therapeutic lounge. Literally, we had folks there just discussing. They were discussing an event that we were going to do for a men's event, and we're talking about youth. All while people are partaking on a slushy, right? So your mind is relaxed, your body's like yeah, we
confused.
need to do,
Yeah.
that was the whole purpose of creating it, along with massage therapy, and it created a healing place,
Out the
right?
blue skies massages, my frat that
Hey, and we telling folks, come find us, come check us out. The goal is, and we had this conversation as we continue we could talk, but the thing is, we have come up with things from Mississippi Greek Weekend to Jackson Black Pages to the first phone party, of things that outside the box, that meeting the need,
Yeah.
and that we say we need, or we show that we need. and
Listen,
and 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 dare to be, that be different, right? And you got to dare to be different, and this is one of them damn projects where you had to put your money
Yeah.
where your mouth is to
Hmm.
make it become a reality. And
listen. Between Hemp World South and Blue Organics, I'm
Yeah.
good.
you're gonna
Like,
feel good from coast to coast. We got you, Tanya. If you on that end, they got you down there. If you on this end, we got you up here.
I'm
You're gonna
telling you.
feel
wait,
good in the morning.
low,
People really need to relax, man. I'm telling you. Fi-
low,
Pressure burst pipes.
low. Is it
The-
Shayna or Shauna?
Shayna.
So Shayna hit me up. I haven't done my commercial yet, but let me tell y'all something, baby. That ointment on my knees because I'm in therapy right now for my knees because I
The
injured my knees.
CBD sports cream.
Ooh, that CBD sports cream, baby.
Mine in my gym bag right over there. It works.
Listen, you need to get yours between that sports cream, the slushes at Hemp or South. Like we have no excuse but to support our own.
Mac ain't giving the nightcap knowledge people no dollar off or nothing, Mac.
Listen,
hey! I tell you what. This Friday is Freedom Friday. We are kicking off the pre-celebration for Juneteenth. We're going all the way through, and we are doing Black Fathers Matter on that Sunday. So let me tell you what we're doing. Right, we're doing different shit. Friday, we will have B&B barbecue in the parking lot. Tomorrow, we are going to
can I get
post.
a trout? Can I get a
Huh?
trout? Listen, I will drive. I'm looking at my schedule. I got therapy
You
tomorrow.
better.
I'm
So you
coming in.
bet you better listen, Tanya. There might be something.
Some of them mention this
You
motherfucker, boy.
better listen, Tanya. There might be something for your dad next tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We are going to post, me and Marcus, we're going to give five fathers a father meal. And on that meal would be one rack of ribs, 15 chicken wings, and a side of macaroni cheese, cabbages, and bread. We want to post and ask for a number. And the person that responds, their father or the father figure in their life would win that. We're going to bless five fathers on Freedom Friday so that you will have that food for Juneteenth weekend. And we created these shirts like they just say Black Fathers Matter
I got it.
because we want to highlight Black fathers during Juneteenth celebration and the connection of the two. So on Sunday, we will have the sister from Sister Trace from Sankofa. Sankofa Kitchen will be doing meals for the first 20 fathers that come by, and we're going to be doing slushy specials on both days. So if my folks here at Nightcap Knowledge want to come through, there will be some good hearty food with some good slushy discounts, and we might even give you some discounts on a couple other things. But you got to come and find out. Yes, ma'am. What
Wait,
you got?
what's up, Mickey? I see Mickey in the comment. Mickey Burnett. Thickpin said big ups to the entire Nightcap Knowledge panel team. LaShonda is just looking.
Cause
Somebody
Mac just dropped some. I
listen.
thought Mac was gonna get the folks a dollar off. They got he just rolled out the whole red carpet.
Oh
Wait,
yeah,
hold
we're gonna do it.
so Mac, I will
Mm.
drive in town. Let's see, probably Thursday afternoon, evening. So Friday, Mom and Daddy, I'm coming to see y'all. Friday and Saturday, I will be in town. So listen, I need to hook up the vegan pescatarian lifestyle. Oh, Marcus, I need that trout, baby. Let me tell you something. That
Is he
trout,
in the comment? Is he? I can't see him. Is he
he,
out there?
he was in the comment, baby. Let me tell you something. That trout fresh out the grease on them two pieces of white bread.
There you
Oh,
go.
baby. That doggone trout with the hot sauce and ketchup on the
You can have this from Marcus.
mm. Listen, have my fresh trout out the grease. I'm coming. Mississippi, I'll see you this week. Oh, Shonda, you coming with me? Don't tempt me. You know we'll make a trip in a minute.
But Thursday is therapeutic Thursday, so the massage special will be going. They do reflexology, that's his
Shonda,
legs,
we can go
feet,
Thursday evening. We'll come back
and they
Friday.
use the CBD lotion on those Thursdays.
Dick been saying now my ass hungry at 10 p.m.
Hey,
Listen,
Mark gonna put his foot in it. Let me tell you what Mark is cooking on Friday. Listen, what Mark is cooking on Friday. Mark is cooking smoked chicken wings, ribs. He's gonna be selling cabbage greens, baked beans, fried chicken wings, catfish, fries, and pan trout.
Is
He's
that-
selling it on Friday at Hemp World South.
I'm
Come get it.
listen, baby. Mama and daddy, push over. I'm coming in town. So listen, somebody come and look at some of
Lo,
it.
why you rubbing your chin? What's wrong, Lo?
I'm coming in
Boy,
town.
that's hey, that's a groove, man.
Me and my team and I, we're coming in town. We're gonna be in that thing. All I'm gonna tell y'all is get ready. Look, Nightcap Knowledge family, we love y'all. Y'all know what to be this weekend. Happy Father's Day to all of our fathers. Happy Father's Day to our ancestors. And we thank you because it was meant for you. The family will lead the day. So we love you and we celebrate you this. We celebrate you now and forevermore. So happy Father's Day. And we about to go where we normally go. But make sure y'all follow us at Nightcap Knowledge on all social media platforms. Next week, tune in for our mental health forum where we're talking about everything mental health. If you've been afraid to ask for help, we are here for you. So tune in next week. Hit me up in the DM. Baby, your business is my business, and that's it. Let's go. Where we going, Lo?
Chuck got the drop.
Oh, it's cat. Catarific. Catastrophic. Goddamn Garfield.
I can give y'all that right there though.
Nah, boo. Where that money reside? Where that money reside? Trying to get it where the money reside. Yeah. Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Dollar, dollar.
Hey,
Somebody give me $1.
I be one of them slushies.
Hey, them slushies go hard. Slushies on deck, ice cold.
Money, take my money.
And get you in the chin.